We're back again. How exactly does the vast universe show us its subtle signs and indications? In other words, how it sends us messages. What you're going to witness and experience today is truly something profoundly different from anything you may have previously encountered, heard, or seen elsewhere. Today, we are going to meticulously examine and deeply analyze various signs in a completely novel and unprecedented manner. Please take a very close and careful look at this unfolding situation right now. The universe is constantly communicating with us in this way. By being aware that every moment is unique, it gives us its signs. But the point here is that when the universe wants to give us a sign, when it wants to send us a message, there is no compulsion in its actions. But here, another topic, another discussion also comes up, which I will address later, and that is the matter of free will. Do we have free will? Is this world a world of compulsion? This is the significant topic I want to focus on more today, so please don't go anywhere. In the very heart of nature, we can now see things that we couldn't see before. When we accept this profound event, meaning when we come to the conclusion that the universe has not left us alone, how can this be so? We have certain parts within ourselves. We talked about the fact that there is no such thing as a separate past or future. Everything exists in the present moment, and the present moment is exactly the part that gives us a message at every instant. How does this message come to us? From the fact that we carry certain parts with us that come from the past, and these parts that we are carrying are supposed to go into the future. What do these parts look like? What form do they take? How are they being shaped? These integral parts are meticulously formed from our daily behaviors, our spoken words, and the profound thoughts we've consistently had. And this significant accumulation has inevitably led to us carrying certain deeply ingrained things within ourselves that perpetually stay with us. And having these profound things with us, deeply in our hearts and our very being, has consistently caused the universe to always send us a clear message in every single moment. Let me give an example. Like when a friend turns to you and says, "Are you paying attention?" Paying attention to what exactly? That your anger is going to carry on with you into the future, meaning there is an anger inside me right now that hasn't gone anywhere yet. It hasn't gone anywhere except where it already is, inside me, rooted in my soul, and this anger is going to stay with me. The universe sends us messages time and again. It sends us messages in different ways through anything, even objects, trees, plants, flowers, and even our home. Anything that exists, anything that is the focus of our attention can give us a message. The universe sends us messages through those things. It could even be an animal or a friend, it could be a message, it could be anything. And the reason the universe sends us messages is to remind us that whatever exists within us today is meant to accompany us. So if we are not mindful of this, it causes that anger, hatred, or whatever else is inside us to carry over into our future. And when this accompanies us, there's an important point here that needs to be addressed. When this issue stays with us, we exist within the universe, the name that is given to this matter. The universe truly means everything that exists within this vast world, everything that has being, that genuinely exists, and there is absolutely nothing in this entire world that is truly dead. Even something we know as a carcass, we see that it becomes food for a group of scavengers, which can take the form of ants, flies, or vultures. They feed on it and gain energy from it. So, when even a mere carcass can provide essential energy and vital strength to various insects and numerous animals, enabling them to continue their existence and sustain their lives, then, in a profound sense, that very carcass is indeed alive. That means it's not something we can call dead. It has energy, and this allows it to give life to an animal or an insect. So everything that exists in this world exists. That means we can see it, feel it, smell it, or sense whatever it has. That tells us it is alive. It exists, it has being. So when it exists, this means that everything within us, everything that is inside us, even if it can't be seen, even though we can't observe it, it still exists because it is there. Because when we get truly angry, whenever any powerful feeling arises deeply within us, we can then react. We can show a response. We can even express it through our words, our anger. So it exists. So when there is something inside us, the universe sends us a message in different ways. But when we don't listen to the universe's message, there is no forced intervention that says you must release this and move into the future. But what happens to us is when we ignore the messages from the universe doesn't lose anything. The one who loses is us. Why? Because when we haven't cleared something from our past and we carry it with us into the future, it will definitely try to survive. Because it's inside us. Because as long as it exists, there's always another pole accompanying it. That pole is the part that, like the positive and negative poles in a battery, causes a current to flow, a force and energy. These two poles always exist. That is, observed in this world, in the universe. There are always two poles, and just like the positive and negative poles of a battery, they work together so that this current, this energy, this life can continue. So when you're not paying attention to this matter, the universe sends you a message. But when you don't accept this concept, when you're not aware of it, this event stays within you and stays with you. And when this happens, the other pole appears. It's like when someone feels they've been wronged somewhere. That is the victim mentality. I am a victim. It's present within them. This person, without fully clearing this significant issue, without truly becoming aware that this particular issue within them is going to undeniably stay with them. Certainly, in the next stage, what happens is that the opposite pole, the one that energizes this part, meaning I am a victim, comes into play. It gives it life. What is that pole? That pole is oppression, is the oppressor. So when these two entities come together, when they truly unite and merge, they create this powerful and dynamic flow of energy. When you deeply consider that the I am a victim state inherently exists within you, you will certainly attract individuals who will oppress you once again. They cause you harm and distress, so that once again, that flow and that hidden part within you, that I am a victim state, gets activated. So when you become aware of this before that pole comes toward you to activate what's inside you, you change it beforehand. In other words, you change that energy. That means you remove the I am a victim mindset and start interpreting the story in a different way. Your perspective here is very important. The story of the bird and the dove, the bird and the tree, points exactly to this issue. As long as you have a victim mentality, as long as you're caught up in I am a victim, surely when you hear the story of the bird and the tree, the way you perceive it, what you observe, is exactly what exists within you. Let me give you an example. Surely many of you have looked at it and thought that the tree was unjust to the bird, but in reality, that's exactly what exists within you. That is this particular state of I am a victim, the pervasive feeling that I've been significantly wronged a lot, that I've been deeply hurt and unjustly mistreated by others. And when someone tells you this particular story, because that deeply ingrained I am a victim state of mind exists within you, it makes it seem as if the tree profoundly wronged the innocent dove. But in actual reality, that's not precisely what actually happened. That is, the idea that the tree wronged the dove. What you observed was exactly what existed within yourself. That is, that I am a victim state. When you heard this story, those who had that feeling inside themselves, that is, I am a victim, immediately concluded that the tree wronged the dove. But the opposite perspective is also profoundly true. Those individuals who, in fact, have definitively concluded that certain people absolutely need to be disciplined, that some specific individuals truly need to be punished, are unequivocally coming from that deeply ingrained state of oppression, that is to say, the superior self tactic, a manipulative and controlling approach. Those who have that trait within themselves, the belief that they are superior to others, will definitely, upon hearing this story, perhaps say that the dove was at fault. And that's how you see that everyone approaches this subject from their own perspective. But the essential point of this story is that when you truly have this feeling deep inside yourself, that pervasive sense of being a victim, you will inevitably see in the story exactly what already profoundly exists within you. So the universe can truly communicate with you in many different and profound ways, and indeed remind you that what truly exists within your very being is precisely what causes those significant people to cross your path and become part of your journey. People are drawn to you who can set into motion what already exists within you, because it's not something that just stays still here. In other words, in the universe, there is nothing that remains stagnant without flow or life. Even your thoughts, even anything you think about. Like the example I gave of a carcass that you might think is dead, but you still see it has energy. It has energy because it can give life to insects, to creatures, to animals. So what matters is that you keep in mind that everything within you is alive, and in order to have life, to have flow, it needs another pole. And that pole, for someone who has the mindset of I am a victim, certainly can't be a good thing, because it has to attract people who will set that feeling into motion, the feeling of being a victim. Keep this in mind so I can explain more about this topic in the next video. If you have anything to say, if you have any questions, leave us a comment. Be sure to mention this topic in the comments. If, for example, in your personal life you have unfortunately attracted individuals or people who have consistently hurt you or significantly bothered you, please do mention this in the comments section below so that I can thoroughly address this important topic much more comprehensively. The state of being a victim and the feeling of victimhood exists in most people, and this is a topic I want to discuss more today. And in order to address this topic more, meaning if you are interested in it, mention it in the comments and ask questions there so I can determine whether I should continue discussing this topic or not. See you next time.